Good afternoon and welcome to the Warren County Commissioners meeting of February 23rd, 2022. I would ask that everyone please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Immediately following a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded, and anything said in this public meeting is part of public record. Since the last time the Commissioners met, I do not believe we have had an executive session, except for the one related to the prison board, but that was announced at that meeting. No correspondence in or out I'm aware of, correct? Hearing none at this time, I'd ask if there's any public comment. No. All right. You see the agenda before you. Minor change to it, the ordinance related to the UPI. I was on a plane yesterday and couldn't really hear and wasn't paying attention, I guess. And so the solicitor and I and the chief clerk quickly conferred. We think that we probably need to advertise even a very minor change to that ordinance. So we'll probably need to defer that to the next meeting. I think that's it. Anything else about the agenda that needs to be brought to the attention? Sure, okay. Then you have the minutes for you. Any comments or corrections? If not, we'll move on to the finance report.
We have $2,796,122 in both of our bank accounts, $1,245,000 in the Erie Bank savings account. We have not borrowed from the tax anticipation, although we are going to borrow $500,000 from our savings account in the next week. We have received our final audit, and we spent a lot of time with our auditor yesterday preparing for the 2021 audit and gathering information, a list of information that we need for the upcoming. Do you have any questions?
Not about that. Yep. We did, by the way, sign the withdrawal slip.
Thank you.
All right, no comments or corrections. Then did you want to deal with ARPA now?
Yes, I think it's next on the list. So I've submitted to you 3 items for to requests for funding from ARPA. A laser reach add-on that wasn't included in our original ask. This is to add on a records management module, and in the request it's going to be $7,200 the first year and $1,200 for over a 3-year plan. The emergency operations plan, which apparently was prior approved, but I didn't realize that, so I have it on the list for $20,000. And then Fire Services Committee was requesting $27,880 for a video promo program to promote fire services within Warren County. And I did attach the proposal in the packet.
Okay. We'll take a motion to amend probably if you want to exclude the one.
Yeah, I'm supportive of number 1 and number 2, but I'd like to exclude number 3 and just get a little bit more thought and conversation around that 3rd item.
Okay, we'll go ahead and deal with that when we take a motion to approve the consent agenda. On to proclamations. Commissioner Eggleston, would you like to handle the National Problem Gambling Awareness Month?
You're trying to tell me something? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. March is National Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Whereas on behalf of the citizens of Warren County, Pennsylvania, we are pleased to join Forest Warren Department of Human Services and Beacon Light Behavioral Health Systems Prevention Services in promoting March 2022 as National Problem Gambling Awareness Month in Warren County. Whereas promoting the Awareness Month provides individuals in the problem gambling community an opportunity to educate the public and policymakers about the social and financial effectiveness of services available for problem gambling. Problem gambling is a public health issue affecting millions of Americans of all ages, races, and ethnic backgrounds in all communities, and which has a significant societal and economic cost. Problem gambling is treatable, and treatment is effective in minimizing the harm to both individuals and society as a whole. Numerous individuals, professionals, and organizations have dedicated their efforts to the education of the public about problem gambling and the availability and effectiveness of treatment. Forest Warren Department of Human Services and Beacon Life Behavioral Health Systems invite all residents of Warren County, Pennsylvania to participate in National Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Therefore, we, the Warren County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2022 as National Problem Gambling Awareness Month in Warren County, Pennsylvania, and encourage all citizens to help spread the message that there is help for problem gamblers through local resources and treatment, and encourage all citizens who either know someone or who personally struggle with moderating their gambling to seek free and confidential help locally.
Thank you. Any comments? Hearing none. American Red Cross Month. The American Red Cross has been at the forefront of helping Americans prevent, prepare for, and respond to a variety of disasters. Yet the Red Cross depends on the support of the American people to sustain the foundation. The Warren County Commissioners formally recognize the Warren County chapter of the American Red Cross and its role in the community and the contributions made to make Warren County a better place. Whereas one of more than 700 chapters across the country who tirelessly serve their community, the Red Cross is a place where people give freely of their time and talent to help prevent human suffering among family, friends, neighbors, as well as strangers. Whereas volunteers are the core of the American Red Cross, donating their time and energy to selflessly serve those in need by providing valuable tools and education to individuals, families, workplaces, and schools. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the Commissioners of Warren County, proclaim March 2022 as American Red Cross Month. We encourage all Warren County citizens to continue to give your time, blood, and money to make a difference in the humanitarian fabric of this community. Any comment? Okay, bleeding disorders.
Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month. We, the Warren County Commissioners, am proud to commemorate March 2022 as Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month in Warren County. And whereas this designation will formalize and expand upon the designation 35 years ago of March 1986 as Hemophilia Awareness Month by President Ronald Reagan, and as the Federal Department of Health and Human Services designated March 2016 as National Bleeding Disorders Month. And multiple states and governments since 2016 have passed a proclamation resolution declaring March as Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month. And bleeding disorder awareness advocates during this month wear a red material around their neck, e.g. lays, scars, ties, and these bleeding disorders, which share the inability to form a proper blood clot, are characterized by extended bleeding after injury, surgery, trauma, or menstruation, and can lead to significant morbidity and can be fatal if not treated effectively. And many individuals with hemophilia became infected with HIV and hepatitis C in the 1980s due to the contamination of the blood supply and blood products. And whereas this Awareness Month in Warren County will generate greater awareness and understanding of not only hemophilia, but all inheritable bleeding disorders, including von Willebrand disease, which alone impacts an estimated 1% of the U.S. population, or more than 3.2 million individuals. And this Awareness Month will foster a greater sense of community and shared purpose among individuals with all inheritable bleeding disorders. And this Awareness Month will elevate awareness of and engagement in inheritable bleeding disorders journey beyond our community to the general public, enabling the prevention of illness, unnecessary procedures, and disability. Therefore, we, the Warren County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2022 as Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month in the County of Warren.
Thank you. Any comment? All right, then I will take a main motion to approve the consent agenda, and we can do a motion on that. Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
Are we going to make changes?
Yep, there. So now we'll take a motion to amend the ARPA requests to strike item 3. Do I hear that motion to amend?
Yes, I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other amendments to be made? Besides, I think we can all agree to the changing the am to R in the last proclamation.
It was the English major in me that.
All right. So on the motion to amend, all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. On the motion to approve the consent agenda, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next. Resolution 3201, which is for the Transit Authority matching funds. Commissioner Eggleston.
So this is just the resolution authorizing ARPA funds for the match for the purchase of 3 buses for the Transit Authority of Warren County. Since our previous meetings, we've met with PennDOT to discuss a study and an evaluation of the bus system. They were all very interested in that, interested in collaboration. And then we've also met with the TAWC board about a further, kind of evaluation of transportation in Warren County, and they're very interested in working with us in order to review that and address it. So I think that that's a very positive step forward. And with that, I would just ask for your support for this resolution.
I'll take that as a motion to approve Resolution 3201.
Well, I think as we went over before, there may be a conflict issue. I would.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, I think just for Commissioner Eggleston's interest, maybe we have you depart from the room under the Ethics Act, just to make sure that if there's going to be any debate on the subject, that we that way there's no indication that he's involved.
To be clear,
Yeah.
okay, sure. I guess very technically you should say.
I'll do whatever you want. I'm very amenable. I'll take my phone, I can play free solo while you guys are
He's
eating.
He's on the board.
on the board, right, so I mean,
Yeah, he's a member of the board of directors, so that's my recommendation.
So, do you think there will be much debate?
no,
Then I would move to approve Resolution 3201.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
None discussion here?
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Abstention by Commissioner Eggleston. Motion carries.
And I wasn't at that meeting, unfortunately, with TAWC, so it sounds like we are still moving forward on evaluating
Yeah.
our role and what their efficiencies.
Yeah, I thought the meeting was really quite productive.
Good.
Particularly the meeting with TAWC and the PennDOT representatives. The Deputy Secretary in particular was, I thought, very amenable to saying, look, we need to make something that makes sense for you guys. I think they were just kind of on autopilot before, and so now we'll move forward with the study as Commissioner Eggleston is driving and a more comprehensive look at transportation.
Good.
It should be good. I'm glad it was brought up.
Yes.
The meeting that I was referring to was the actual TAWC board meeting.
Right.
Where we discussed this, like you obviously weren't there, and they were very interested in moving forward with it. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. On to Resolution 3202, which is for 2022 liquid fuels. The Chief Clerk ran us through this resolution yesterday. Is there anything you wanted to add, Pam?
The total being distributed is $118,955,000.
Good. You'll see the list attached as to what each municipality gets. Any discussion, questions? And I'd ask for a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 3202 regarding liquid fuels.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion
Yeah.
carries.
Just from my memory, what, are we holding a percentage back at all, or are we allocating it all? We expect.
This will be a portion of $12,000.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Resolution 3203, which is a resolution authorizing a procedure related to payroll processing and a policy related to medical marijuana. Any questions, presumably for Lisa regarding this?
I'm just going to make a comment on, I have no issue whatsoever with the payroll policy on section, the one dealing with medical marijuana. on, so section 9.3, I would propose that should be stricken from the policy. I think a policy is appropriate to indicate that the county will not discriminate against anyone that takes medical marijuana. And for the record, this is all hypothetical because I have no knowledge whatsoever whether any employee whatsoever is on medical marijuana or taking it. But then, so from a purely hypothetical standpoint, I think a policy is appropriate to reaffirm what the Medical Marijuana Act states is that no discriminatory action can take place. The way 9.3 reads, that disciplinary action can be taken based on performance. Disciplinary action can be implemented should an employee be under the influence of marijuana in the workplace, or if they are working under the influence where their employee's conduct or performance falls below the standard considered normal for their position. So there's basically a two-part argument. I know this is sort of a technical lawyerly discussion, but there's two parts here. So disciplinary action can be implemented. One, should an employee be under the influence of medical marijuana. So that's influence without regard to conduct. So that would be a blatant violation of the Medical Marijuana Act. I understand the county's interest in making sure everyone performs to the level that they need to, and they should. And the second part, or if they're working under the influence where the employee's conduct and performance falls below the standard considered normal for their position. The problem I have with that is that there's not a causal relationship drawn between being under the influence and their conduct. So the county.
Could we, in 9.3, in my mind, I'm thinking through this, and in the area where the word "or" is listed, it would be "and." So then it does create that causal relationship. Somebody's on medical marijuana and they are having an issue with conduct and performance.
So there's like my concerns on this clause were two parts. The second one is, again, this is all hypothetical, is that there's what I would call, I would say, in the hands of an employment lawyer, like an Americans with Disabilities Act issue. So someone's going to argue that disciplinary action is taken against someone because they're on medical marijuana. And so it's an employer's duty under the ADA to provide a reasonable accommodation if that's there. So I just think I think the way it's written, there's at least a disability analysis there, and I think it just needs to be thought through a little bit better if you have an employee who is in this kind of situation. Again, well, hypothetically, we might just, I'm not against passing a policy like this per se, but I have a concern about tying disciplinary action so closely to being under the influence.
Okay.
The way it's written.
We still take disciplinary action if the performance falls below the standard, regardless of why. So,
Yeah,
strike this and it's in effect.
Absolutely, that's what I would recommend. I mean, if you wanted to pass something today, strike section 9.3.
Okay.
And that way, if there is a performance issue, it can be dealt with on the merits of the discipline alone. Whether someone's on medical marijuana for whatever reason, whether it's for, chronic pain or for anxiety or something like that, that way you're avoiding an argument that someone's being an adverse employment action is being taken against them as a result of what they're going to maybe allege a mental condition that should be considered a disability, like depression or anxiety or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that striking that damages the value of the policy.
I'm fine with striking it. I would just maybe want to engage with somebody who's got, I'm fine with striking it.
I'm fine. We have labor council
That's
sort of
what I
on
was
contract.
thinking.
I would be glad to run this issue by them. Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, that. So we would then approve the two policies, strike section 9.3 at this juncture, have quick review and then go from there. Does that work for everyone?
I think so.
Then I will make a motion to that effect.
Okay, motion taken approving 3203 with, while striking section 9.3 of HR policy 18.
18.
I'll
Make
second.
that motion.
Motion made and seconded, discussion. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Ordinance 3, as I mentioned, we'll have to defer until we can advertise the change, so I would expect to see that. Well, I guess why don't we go ahead and take a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll see that on the next agenda.
Yep.
Are there any other comments for the public? All right,
Here.
hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned 12:28. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.